What we've got here is a Sterling by Music Man JP60. It's stealth black. The bodywood is Nyato. It's got a modern tremolo bridge, 25.5-inch scale length, 16-inch radius, 24 medium jumbo frets. It's got a hard maple neck with a rosewood fingerboard. It's got custom JOHN Petrucci inlays, locking tuners, dual action truss rod, bolt-on neck, a 3-way pickup selector, and 2 Sterling by Music Man humbucking pickups. Let's talk guitars. Hello, and welcome to this week's episode of The Effects Loop. I'm your host, Jay Byrne. Today we are talking about a new guitar. So, I bought another guitar. What did I buy? I bought this. Sterling by Music Man JP60. Essentially, this is a JOHN Petrucci from Dream Theater custom model. It was based off of a JP6, which those run about like $2,500 or so. This was about $600 actually, which is still probably a little high for what it is, but you know, hey, let's talk about it. I wanted a shredder. Growing up, I always had a Washburn, a red Washburn like superstrat type electric guitar, and I love all my other guitars, don't get me wrong. I love Les Pauls, I love Strats, I love Telecasters, you know, 335s, my Gretsch, I love all that stuff. But I missed having just a basic shredder kind of metal guitar. Because there's one thing, I mean, you can use a Les Paul for metal and it sounds really good. And you can use any guitar for metal, really. Actually, a lot of my heavier songs that I've recorded, I've been using my 335 because that actually sounds really good with distortion recorded. But I just wanted something like, you know, like a Jackson or an Ibanez or something along those lines. So I ended up at Guitar Center. I sold a couple of things to come up with a few bucks. Why did I pick this particular, because I've never had a Music Man. Actually, this is Sterling by Music Man. This is like their import guitar, their version of Epiphone, basically. And this is like a 2020 something guitar. Actually, there's no serial number that I can find easily on the guitar. It just says made in Indonesia on the back of it. So it doesn't actually give you a number with a year. So it's kind of hard to date them. But I mean, it's a newer guitar, so it's within the 2020 era. I went there initially to get a Jackson. That's what I was looking for. I was looking for a Jackson. But after playing a couple of the Jacksons they had on the wall, I tried a Jackson Dinky, and I had a Jackson Randy Rhoads V a long time ago. I had the like a cheap one, like a $300 one, and it sounded good. It played nice. It was kind of a cheap guitar. It just wasn't much to play around with, and so I figured, well, if I could go for Jackson, get something a little bit more expensive. I wanted a soloist. Those run around the $600-700 range. They didn't really have much of that in stock. They had one, it was damaged. And so I was just looking around because I knew what I wanted. I wanted a specific type of guitar. So I was just looking, and this thing's hanging on the shelf. And honestly, I didn't even know this was a JOHN Petrucci like signature model. I mean, I'm aware of Dream Theater. I think I know the song Pull Me Under, and that's pretty much it. Because that was like my era of Dream Theater when I was growing up. I was like, wow, this thing plays amazing. It felt really good, it played well, it looked nice, it wasn't beat up, everything was solid on it, it was in good shape. Considering it's new, it should be in good shape, but anyone who deals with Guitar Center knows that new does not mean new, hanging on the freaking wall at the Guitar Center. New means it's been on that wall for 3-4 years. Maybe it's fell, got knocked over. Every degenerate and its brothers come in there and banged on it. I was playing the guitar and I was really impressed with it. I was like, wow, this thing sounds nice. It sounded good, it felt good, has very low action, has a really nice, the neck is really, the radius on it, that 16-inch radius is like, I mean, it's a shredder neck. It's for playing solos and stuff, and playing metal type licks. I think I like this guitar. I mean, the neck is so, I mean, it's got this like satiny finished maple neck, which is like super smooth to play, really comfortable. This thing right here, this like weird contour. I mean, this guitar is designed for comfort. It's designed to feel comfortable on your body when you're playing. And like you kind of blend in with the guitar and it feels great. These pickups sound pretty darn good. I mean, I know these are the lower model pickups. There were these JOHN Petrucci signature ones that were made for the more expensive models. These are kind of like the basic ones that they put in the cheaper like import models. But they actually, they sound really good. I mean, for me, as far as I'm concerned, they sound better than the ones that were in the cheap Jacksons that I played that day, and the one that I had before, the Randy Rhoads one. They're a little dark, which is interesting because I kind of expected it to be brighter sounding. It does still have an interesting bite and an attack to it. It does come with a tremolo bar. It's a tremolo, so I don't have the bar in it right now. It's in the drawer. This is not like a Floyd Rose, but it's like a standard tremolo that's built like a Floyd Rose. Because it's very flexible. I don't really use the tremolo much, so I kind of got it set up and I just leave it alone. The only thing I don't like about having a guitar with the tremolo is like the tuning stability can be a little weird, but generally speaking, this thing stays in tune. I mean, I haven't touched it in a day and it's in tune right now. So these locking tuners on the back here are actually really cool. I only had one other guitar with locking tuners. It was a Fender that I had gotten. And I liked the locking tuners because it makes it a lot easier to change the strings. However, I had a little bit of it when I went to go change the strings on this because I wanted to clean it up, you know, and tick the knobs off and tighten all the bolts and all that stuff. I always do that the first time I get a guitar. Like, straighten it all out. like this just drops right in because of the springs, because it's actually a floating tremolo system. So it's like, and it's kind of a pain in the butt to get it back up to tension. You got to open up the back of it and like readjust the springs and give it some tension and take some away, give it, kind of get it back up to normal, and finally you get it back up to level, because I just wanted it level with the body, and it was fine, because I mean I'm barely ever going to use it, but the few times I've messed around with it, it stayed in tune, so that's cool, like for a tremolo system that I'm probably barely ever going to use. This neck though, I'll tell you, this is what sold me on the guitar when I picked it up. It's like when I got my Gretsch. No fret sprout, nothing, perfectly smooth, like an awesome neck. I'm like no fret buzz, no nothing. From the factory, this thing comes set up really well. Apparently they make them in Indonesia and they ship them to a company in the United States. It says inspected by Music Man, but it's a separate company that does it, I think. And they inspect them before they get sent out to the distributors. So this came, it might be an import guitar, but it was inspected in the US before it was actually sent out and sold. So that's a cool option right there. And I didn't want like a fancy, I wanted a shredder guitar, but I didn't want like a pink guitar or a green guitar, or like the colors can get a little crazy on the like the shredder style guitars. So it was nice to see just jet black. I was like, that's cool, I can go with that. I'm not sure how I feel about the headstock just yet. I mean, I'm not really a headstock person. I don't make a big deal out of headstocks. But this like little small mini headstock, I know this is that's Music Man's thing. That's their style. And I guess they've been around for a long time, and that has been the way they do it. I know Eddie Van Halen was played Music Man guitars, and it was kind of his thing there for like a good portion of his career, the tail end of his career. Yeah, I mean, it's got this three-way toggle, which is basically the bridge. You go in the center. It's like it's got a nice balance between these two humbuckers, and then you click it over, and this is your neck. And it's pretty basic bridge, two pickups and then a neck. I really like the center position. It sounds nice. This guitar has a really nice clean sound to it, which is cool. You got your two knobs here. One's a tone knob, one's a volume knob. Basic, simple, to the point. And you can get the action on these considerably low. I mean, this is probably high to a shredder, but like 4/64 is low to me. You know, that's pretty low. And I got this thing pretty much right on 4/64, and I mean, it's like playing nothing when I play it. Would I suggest buying one of these guitars? I think if you're looking for something in the $500 to $600 range, like a mid-tier. A mid-tier usually runs around $70. It's below $1,000, I guess. But these run for $600 at Guitar Center. They don't come with a gig bag at Guitar Center, which is interesting because I know a lot of them, if you order them from different companies, you get them with gig bags. I think you get gig bags though when you're getting like the $700 or $800 ones. Like there's like a Majesty that's like a step up from this, but it's basically the same thing, just different colors. It has like a few little weird random things that were added to it. But if you're looking for a shredder guitar and you just want something basic that's comfortable to play, that you're probably going to get something good right out of the factory, and you don't want to go with one of these like cheap $300 Jacksons, because there's a lot of cheap $300 Jacksons and they're not terrible guitars. The ones that I tried, They all had fret sprout. They all, I mean, the reverse headstock thing is weird to me. I don't know. I mean, I had my heart set on a Jackson. I thought Jackson would be the way to go. Because, I mean, it's a metal guitar. Jackson or an Ibanez or something like that. I don't know. The Jacksons just didn't impress me. And I picked this guitar up, and for the price, it was comfortable. It played really well. It took me like 5 minutes to realize, hey, this is nice. I like this one. If you like this kind of content, like, subscribe, leave a comment, let me know what you're thinking, give me ideas for more episodes. Let's see, if you click that notification bell, you will know if I put up like an episode outside of my normal Wednesday episodes. So yeah, do all that stuff. I hope you enjoyed the show. I'm Jay Byrne. This has been the Effects Loop. Take care. See you next time.